Hi, good day, everyone. So we are now on. We'll discuss to you your midterm examination. This is a guide to the midterm examination. It is a task-based activity. So you are tasked to come up with a flight itinerary planning, or and of course the evidence. So now let's go first with its rationale or the main purpose, and also our main criteria for judging. First, the students should be able to ascertain the proper routing codes of selected flights. So, meaning to say, it's an application of lesson that discuss the IATA geography. So, of course, you should be familiar with that. That's part of our work as a travel agent. Now, in this sense, I'm going to assess whether you have a working knowledge on whether to identify a particular route. So in that sense, if you feel that you're not so confident enough, or you lack the competency yet, I suggest you should go back with a video about the travel geography, part one and part two. Next is the rationale why we have this activity is for you to be able to demonstrate or construct a feasible flight itinerary. So for that, to help you in doing the feasible flight itinerary, I have prepared a video called Travel Hack. So these are basically the guide that you could follow in how would you arrange or plot the specific points that I'm going to give you. Now, of course, that will be also used as our measurement or criteria whether your work is really feasible. Okay, so please do visit or watch again the video travel hack for that case. Next is to dissect the flight itinerary, identify its components. So, of course, you should be able to manifest or exhibit your ability to have a understanding on a particular component or portion of a flight itinerary. Now, this is better explained by our visual in anatomy of flights. So, in the video, it basically dissects the different terminology, lingua franca, or different IATA terminologies that we have used. So, for example, in our common geography, we are using cities. For ticketing, we're using points. So, we are also going to, this is a very important component of our profession as a travel agent. Okay. So, next, so our main goal here is overall is for you to develop your ability for flight selections. Of course, selecting a flight is an art. It's not an exact science. So if it's an exact science, your computer will be, better doing that. Now it's a art because you are, of course, you're applying whether this particular flight will really benefit your client. At the end of the day, as a travel agent, it's our duty and responsibility to make sure that our client will have a best flight. So of course, in this exam or simulation, you're going to put yourself to the shoe of your client, whether or not he would like the flight that you're giving him or proposing him to him. Okay. So that's your basic gauge on how you test whether the flight is really feasible. And of course, there are certain rules that are demonstrated in our video, such as the price, such as the duration, and etc. Of course, we will not no longer concern about a particular price because that will be, a different topic. So in this particular video exam, you are not required to, compute or demonstrate the pricing. So as long as, of course, it follows a certain logic, no. So of course, the clue here is the cheaper it is, possible more convenient for our client, or in terms of durations, it takes less hours for him to travel. This is better for our client. Okay. Next, what is our expected outputs? Okay, our expected outputs would be as follows. So we have two outputs that we are requiring the student, you. So first output is, of course, you have to have a video presentation. The video presentation could be a simple self-recording using Zoom or any platform that you can find, or you can use your own camera and then record uh, while presenting a PowerPoint presentation using your TV or laptop or any devices or Manila paper, whatsoever, what will be more convenient to you. Now, the video should be minimum of 5 minutes and maximum 7 minutes. Presentation could be done in any creative format that you may deem. I leave it upon to you, provided that the evidence are exhibit. So for the evidence, we're going to discuss it more further here. The video presentation should be include the answers to your guide questions. So again, there will be you can do it in a type that you're giving an interview, you are giving a Q&A. Let's say you are enumerating each questions and then you're answering it based on a introspective format or whatsoever na you will find it very useful or it will really address the questions. Now next, suggested medium should be or could be in the form of Zoom, Google Meet, or MS Teams self-recording. Okay, because they have the ability to present now PowerPoint, it will be more convenient for you, just like what I'm doing right now, for you to be able to deliver your midterm exam. Now, for the evidence, this is a part or will be incorporated in your presentation. It could be refers to a plotted Google map or any map, if you may deem so, for each specific flight. So, meaning to say you're going to track down or trace down or plot specific flights based on the points that I will give to you. And of course, that will help you realize the particular route that will be, for example, that is Trans-Pacific route, Atlantic route, etc. So that will be very helpful for you to tracking down a particular routing code based on our IATA geography lesson. And of course, you should include that in the video. You can always refer to our travel hack for some patterns that I could, to share with you. Next is a build. You can build the plotting could be built in any plotting platform that could avail. For example, flight reader or Google Earth could be used, or you can simply have the Google Map and then save the picture and then create a or draw a pen using our paint or etc. So that's I leave it upon your discretion. Be creative. Next. So these are sample evidence that you may use. So for my case, I expecting you to both use the same evidence. For example, I checked for a particular flight here in Manila Taipei. So I plotted the line using the Google Earth. Okay, so that's my example. So you can also check for Expedia, other platform for checking the flight. We have Expedia, specific airlines if you want, or you can check for the flight scanner, so that is also a good platform to use for plotting. You can also Google Meet, Google Earth, Google Map, or a typical map that you have. So I leave it upon your discretion. So here are some guide questions for you to answer during the video recording. So first one is, of course, discuss your proposed itinerary. So we're arranging it that way. So of course, give us the rationale why you are proposing this particular arrangement. Of course, the point will be given to you is it's not the optimal point. So you have to arrange them, according to a certain feasible logic that is both beneficial for the client. Again, I repeat, that will be beneficial for the client that we're going to use the flight. Okay. Determine the global routing indicator code for your particular itinerary. For this sense, you can either determine the routing indicator based on the whole leg or whole journey from your terminal points. Okay, you can identify that, or you can use it per specific leg or per specific segments if you want. So either way, you can have it as a whole or as a specific segment. Okay, depends upon you. Okay, next. What are the terminal points of your itinerary? Basically, if you're asking me, sir, what's the terminal point? Again, I will refer to you, go back to the video, Anatomy of Journey. These are the lingos or terminologies that we're using in the industry. So these are very important. So you have to really have the knowledge or the grasp of really understanding it. Particularly if you are planning to work or it happens to work or somehow you have given the opportunity to work for a ticketing office in an airline company. Next, how many intermediate points of the journey? So basically, check the terminology natin. How many are the non-stop flight? How many are the direct flight? And how many are the connecting flights? So these are all included in our videos as a summary. Okay. Next. So the grading system will be adapted based on our rubrics. So the grading system will be as follows. Point verbal, so 100% for outstanding, meaning to say the outstanding exceed the minimum expectation. For example, they met all the rationale or the points for consideration that I have previously mentioned in the first half of this video. And 85% if, sorry, one rationale is, not uh, has been met, but of course there are minor mistakes that consider to be, though the work is still acceptable within the standards that are, preferred by the client, which are going to be with minor correction. For example, using of a particular flight, which there is a more viable option, and those things. Next, 75% if one of the objectives or rationale was missed out, so that will be needs for improvement. Of course, you have to rework your work for you to pass this examination. So a notice of rework or notice of resubmission will be given to you. 50% if you're late, if you have a late submission, and of course 0 points for no show. Next. So these are the points to be plotted or arranged. Okay, so these are the points in the exam. Okay. So for the points, okay. So the points are itinerary 1 for the student starting the surname with A to M would be Manila, MNL, LAX, HNL, LHR, CDG, YYZ, BCN, YVR. So these are IATA codes. So for IATA codes, you better refer to or you can check the internet or Google it out, or you can check a particular website, or let's say the website of Philippine Airlines, to check the viability of those flights. Now, in regards with the flight or a particular airline, there is no particular airline to be choose for. Bahala po kayo. It's upon your discretion as a simulation of your work as a travel agent. Because part of our work as a travel agent is to select a particular flight, or including the airline or including the brand of the airline. Next, itinerary 2, student surnames from N to Z. So that's Manila, MNL, AMS, TPE, FCO, LHR, YTO, IAD, LAS. So again, both points has each points will be at least a stop or stopover of 1 day. So for the definition of stopover, I would like to invite you to visit or rewatch, or watch the lesson in Anatomy of Journey. So there is a specific terminology. How would you define stopover? There is a particular time involving 24 hours, right? So if your time is more than 24 hours, that is a... If your time is less than 24 hours, that is... So of course, be cautious, because these are, ticketing are highly technical. So they are very specific in nature. So of course, that's part of our discipline and it's part of our simulation in this activity. So, okay. So these are some instructions. Okay. So here's my instructions. Sorry. So the instructions as follows. Okay, so for the instructions, these are as follows. Okay. So, okay, for the instruction, these are as follows. So the evidence refers to Google Map plotted, or any, as previously mentioned, that would be any format that you would want, as long as there are plotted maps. Flight screen of your flight itinerary, no prices, just the itinerary itself. Itinerary refers to city pair, time, equipment, flight code, yeah, those things. Those are the basic components of flight itinerary. Next, the video must be not exceeding 7 minutes. The video must include all the evidence while answering the guide questions. For cities or points, kasi we call city in common geography a city. In ticketing, we call cities as points. So points to be plotted and arranged. Okay, so please watch the travel hack for the rationale, for the principle behind how would you arrange these points. Now, the points is arranged, ano siya, no? It's one way, so it's a one-way system. So no need to for the points to be returning to a particular terminal. Okay. So if you ask me, where will I begin? So the starting point or the terminal point will be Manila. So Manila. So Manila po tayo. Next, the answer the guide question as concise as precise. Provided a copy of the transcript of your answer to these questions. Submit the video via Teams, upload the video in its first Google Drive or YouTube, then paste the link and of course don't submit the video via the attachment. So it will take a lot of time for the MS team to process the data, and of course that will be having a difficulty in my part because I will have to download the whole content. Okay, submit the transcript of your answer via Teams as attachment. Of course, video must include yourself and your face in the presentation for me to ascertain that you are really the one doing the examination. After all, this is an exam, so you cannot just copy paste, you cannot just borrow, or you cannot just let anybody do the work for you. So, okay. So for question answer portion, could I have the cell phone? Okay, so for a while, so I'm just having the cell phone.